Wow. So let me ask you this: was there any medical paperwork with him? Was there any of that? Was he like? Did he have any kind of conditions or anything like that? Or
The We had a couple that we knew about. There was a suspicious ADD, which is kind of like okay, but it was just a suspicion. No medication, no
mm,
treatments at that time,
okay,
and then like allergies. That's it.
okay,
And we only get what the previous foster parents write down.
mm-hmm.
So if they don't take them to the doctor, there's nothing written down. If they don't write it down, we don't know.
Right.
So he was perfectly healthy
Mm,
because of what was written down.
okay.
So it says a lot about whatever you want it to say. I'll just leave it at that. But once again, nothing went according to our plans. What was considered to be true or what we expected was not what we expected.
Right.
But hey, that's any parent. Even if you give birth, the baby comes out like they come out. Ta-da, it's yours now.
Right. Yeah. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So within, I would say maybe the first 30 days, or even sooner, we really were like, something's different.
Yeah.
So we started taking him to the doctor,
Mm.
and I went from referral to referral. We probably went overkill, like brain scans and like EKGs. We just did all. We're like, something's off. And yeah, we came up with 13 medical diagnoses.
Mm.
13, and it was just one upon the other. And there are some that the doctors and the therapists that met with us about this, they're like, this is never going away. He's never going to whatever. He's never going to speak sentences. He's never going to be able to communicate with you. He's never going to love you. This is something he's not capable of.
Wait, why is he saying this?
So far disconnected. And at the time, I think maybe the trauma of his past was still murky. He wasn't able to communicate what had happened. So the trauma was really murky, and then the autism really inhibited his ability to talk to us and explain why he was scared or why he was anxious. So we were stuck with a child who could not get help because he could not communicate what he needed. So that was intense.
Yeah, my son had autism, and we didn't start to see it till around 2 or 3 years old. You know, the way that he played with things, how he was always on his own, and it was like you start to see things. But for you, I mean, you didn't get that time to kind of walk him through all that. So for you,
no, there was no
like,
graduation,
bam.
no pattern,
Yeah.
nothing. And then every doctor, of course, wants to know, like, well, what's his history?
I don't know. I was hoping
I remember
you would tell me.
Yeah. What does this tell you?
Yeah.
We went into a doctor once, and he looks different. He clearly looks like he needs help, a lot of help. And they pulled us out of the room, and they're like, do you know these people? Are you safe? Like, we're kidnappers? And I hate that. And he remembered, and he was like, don't separate me. He's like, no, these people are good. Don't.
Oh, good.
And yeah, there's.
But sometimes kids will say some pretty crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not necessarily to like hurt you, but it's to kind of protect them. Like my son would say some things, and there were some things that if they would have believed him, it could have put me in jail.
Oh yeah, we get that. I don't want to say every day, but a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a desire to hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I hurt you because my feelings are hurt too.
But not necessarily from you, but they have been hurt. Yeah.
Right. And I know that these words are really, really, really hurtful.
Like,
so I'm just going to use them because that's all Yeah.
Like, I hate you,
Yeah.
or I don't like you.
Yes. Oh, we got that so fast. I wasn't ready for this because I mean, I don't know this kid, right?
Right.
I think he was, maybe it was our second month. Like
Wow.
we poop in the house now as opposed to like keeping that secret. So he's been with us for a little while, and he started with the "I hate you," and I'm like, kid, you don't even know me. Like,
You don't know
but
me
it
enough
was
to
this.
hate me yet.
Yeah. What? Hey, I've been babysitting. What is? So, but it was this "I hate you, mom. I hate you, mom. I hate you, mom," and that was a script, I think,
Ooh.
that he had. That was words he knew
Mm.
were hurtful or powerful or created chaos. If there was chaos within him, he would try and deflect or put it on someone else. And um, it messed me up a little bit because I'm like, I've only ever done nice things for you. You know, I think every parent goes through that, but I got it so fast. But it was funny one day. I think it was this year, a little while ago, he had actually used that line with my husband, and he was so mad, and he goes, "I hate you, mom," to my husband. And that made me realize this is just a script. This is not personal. It's never been personal.
Yeah.
That's all he's got.
Yeah.
So
Now your
yeah, took the edge
husband
off.
and you with a relationship with him, it's totally different, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's very confusing. One thing that we learned is, so there's this thing called reactive attachment disorder.
Mm.
So if you have a very negative relationship with someone, you end up with a certain type of reactive attachment disorder, which is very rejecting, very hateful,
But that's a feeling,
defensive.
though.
It's naturally developed. So if somebody always hits you, you always,
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
it
You
just
do
becomes
that.
part of your program.
Right. The
Right.
flinching
So
thing.
it's like that.
Hmm.
This person I don't like, this person in this role is not safe. And so I had that. I got that. I got hate and hurt and violence and constantly thinking, what am I doing wrong? I'm screwing everything up.
But that's an emotion, though.
But
That, like, you can work with
it was
that.
something.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes.
Because that can be
And I don't,
turned around to something else. Because it's there.
right.
Because
Because,
it exists.
yes,
Yeah,
we can work with
right.
that.
Hey,
We can adapt this.
hey, anybody
Hmm.
that's watching, if you guys are like foster parents or have been in the foster system or have been or have fostered a child or have adopted, guys, I'd love if you guys would put down something in the notes
Yeah.
there or in the comments. That would be awesome, man. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so tell us the relationship with your husband.
So, another way you can have a reactive attachment disorder is through the absence of a relationship. So, if you imagine it's a door that's never been opened.
Hmm.
So, there's never been a father.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, there's no definition for how to relate to one, how to be kind to one, how to receive one. And so, I thought I was going crazy with the rejections and the anger and the hurt, but we were able to turn that into love. My son he loves me deeply.
Wow, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, take that, doctors. Um, but after 5 years, he's just now realizing that my husband's not going away.
Hmm.
Like, this guy's still there, and I guess I better have a relationship with him
Really?
or like spend time with him.
So five
Or
years there was nothing?
they could barely hug.
Hmm.
It just wasn't. I mean, if there was something where my husband needed to pick him up and carry him somewhere if he was tired, like, that's okay, functional touch. But loving touch, no. Let me help you in the bath. Just washing his hair. That was something I remember doing, and he'd scream and he'd say, "I'm cutting him, I'm hurting him, and it's burning," and all these things. And I'm like, "I'm just washing his hair." My husband, there's no way he could help with that. Put a Band-Aid on? No way. Can't even put a Band-Aid on. Don't touch. And at first it was kind of like, okay, Janelle, you deal with the flames. And they settled down, but
Wow.
they were left with nothing. Like, now I have a bond, I have a connection, and my husband's left with nothing. And that took 5 years. And so he's always been there. He's always been consistent, always giving of himself. And this child has still been without a need. So they've got now their own path of therapy that they have to accomplish. And I remember doing that. And I remember we had to blow air on each other, like graduate towards touching. And I'd blow on him and on his face or his cheek or something. And it might as well have been acid or sandpaper, or he just hated me so much. Or he hated a mom so much. And then I think now, I don't know why I'm getting teary-eyed on this, but I think about, what does it take to hurt someone so much that even with a new mom, it just still carries over, and it carries over, and it carries over. And every single day he's got to tell me how much he hates me. And I just think, what happened? What happened that was so bad that future parents would pay the price, right?
Wow.
So I try not to go there. I try to surrender all of that up to God, because I've already played that soundtrack enough. I've already played the, if I was there, if I could have been there, I would have, but I can't. That's untouchable.
Well, the reality is that somebody did do something unspeakable to a child. And and that's why that's one of the reasons I wanted to have this conversation, because people need to hear about this, especially in this time when so many things are coming out in the media, you know, in with people that are known are known very publicly, and what's happening with children around this whole country with the sex trafficking and the abuse and what's going on, you know, that in the fostering and in the it's right under our noses, and it's just so awesome that you basically saved a child from a life that is unspeakable, and the love that you give him is incredible, and and it's a miracle. It really is. It's a miracle that that you and your husband were put in the right place at the right time under all the wrong conditions in order to give this child the life that he deserves.
Yeah, and he's amazing.
I know.
He's amazing, and
He's a super cool kid.
I've had people read the book. I've had him read the book, and they say, "Was that like a different kid or something?" Because I don't.
Right.
That wasn't your kid, because I know your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kid is currently, he's not even 12. He's currently in a college course online right now.
That is so
and I'm kind of like, oh, all right. I do have to help him type out his long essay answers, and I get overwhelmed because it's like me being back in college, and I don't. And then, discussion boards, when people respond to his discussions, and I just want to be like, chill out, he's 11. He's in the same class as you.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, he is amazing, and he's so loving. He's so, if you cross his path for whoever his person is that he's currently protecting in his mind, you better be ready for a fight. Yeah, because he's so protective. That really that honors me. Like he can hate me all he wants, but if I get sick, I get migraines sometimes. If I get sick, I get a migraine. It's like he's bringing me water, he's bringing me snacks. He gets on my phone and calls my husband, "Mom's got a migraine," and he has this whole system. He is so ready to be. He wants to be a doctor. He's so ready to fight for and protect and provide for people who are not able to do this. And that is, I think that's like that's a testimony in itself, because he was looked at as someone who would destroy a family. He was looked at as someone who was too far gone. And I didn't realize that there's this point of no return, that medically speaking and behavioral wise,
Really?
if you get so much on your paperwork, you need to be in a therapeutic home or a special needs placement or some type of
institution.
Yeah, or group home. And we weren't.
Wow.
And we were told 6 months in, they had this confrontational meeting with us, and they said, look, we have somewhere else he can go. They're trained. They know what they're doing. Or there's a group home, and they'll take him and they'll keep him safe until he's 18. And you don't have to do this. You do not. We can just stop now. And I couldn't believe it. He had actually become unadoptable. He was too far gone. And we were, I guess, not qualified. Like, you have to apply, your paperwork has to show or demonstrate that you are a special needs home, and we didn't have that. So we actually were not qualified on paper, and we should not have been able to keep him. They should have taken him, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, so in this time, with everybody saying, oh, Janelle, you're so invested and you're so gung-ho and you're so over the top and all this, my husband was the mellow one. And he spoke up at this meeting where they said something like, you know, trauma can improve, his past can improve, his academics can improve, but, you know, with autism, he'll never get better. And my husband, I don't know, I imagine him pounding his fist on the table and being like, ha, but no, I don't think that happened. But he said, that's okay, he's ours. Where are the papers? And he said, he is our son, he is my son, you are not taking him from us. Whatever we have to sign, we're signing it. He's ours now. And he spoke up, and it was kind of like that moment where you're like, whoa. He was the hero.
Wow.
And
he's a quiet dude. Like,
he
doesn't talk very much.
He's not a chick. No, you got to be in his circle for him to like get beyond the I'm fine. Or yeah, I like bikes.
Right.
So you gotta get into that.
You gotta be able to ride 100 miles a day to get into his circle.
Oh my gosh. I have asked for one morning a week for him not to go on a jaunt so that I could like wake up and he's still there. You know, that I mean just marriage goals, right? So he came to the rescue, and he really, because they had heard me yapping, he's mine, I like it, we'll figure it out, we'll fall in love, this will work, I'll get another doctor, you know, they had heard all my rationalizations and plans, right? You know, when you make plans, you make God laugh. They'd heard that. So when Ryan spoke up, it was like, oh, okay, so now there's two players in this game. And that was the day he became unadoptable, and that was the day he became unadoptable. First definition was discarded. Second definition being mine. Wow. You cannot adopt my baby. You cannot. So I took that word. Imagine if I could throttle it. I throttled that word, and I said, no, you will not use that word, but I will.
Is that the book behind you right there?
That is. It has my brand new medallion because I won the National Independently Published Books. Top 5 for parenting books.
What?
Because people think it's a parenting book. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me today, because me and her had a conversation. We actually had worship today. If you guys want to jump on
amazing.
it was
amazing.
It was If you ever want to check that out, go on Bethel Chandler and just watch the live 9:45. It was pretty good.